What do you think makes a student a strong mathematical thinker? Maybe it's showing your thinking and checking your work, not being afraid to say the wrong answer, or asking questions. Turns out there are lots of different ways to be a mathematical thinker. Some of them are taught in math class, some of them are learned on the street or in other things you do, some of them are obvious, and some are not so easy to see. Neuroscientists study the brain and have noticed that many people who are good at learning math in school also have the ability to manage their attention, maintain information, and change what they are thinking about. They call these skills executive functions. In the Mathematical Thinkers Like Me project, when you are solving problems and learning to work together in virtual math teams or VMT, you are also building your executive functions and finding new ways in which you are a mathematical thinker. There are 3 types of executive functions, or EFs for short: cognitive flexibility, working memory, and inhibitory control. This video is about cognitive flexibility. That's when you try
something new to see how the other person sees it, and it changes your mind sometimes.
It's when you realize that a better strategy might be to change up your perspective or approach to a problem. What might this look like in the real world? Let's say you don't like the idea of pineapples on pizza, but your friend does. Your friend tells you, adding pineapple adds sweetness to a savory pizza, which is extra yummy. Who knows, you could try it and end up changing your mind. If you are being cognitively flexible, you would try to understand your friend's thinking and see if it makes sense to you. Maybe you tell them, I've never thought of it like that. I'll try it next time. The combo kind of reminds me of my favorite snack, pretzels and ice cream. Have you tried that? I haven't. That sounds delicious. In this scenario, cognitive flexibility has allowed both of you to gain a new perspective, and your stomachs are grateful for it. Can you think of an example of cognitive flexibility in your life or your math classroom? Let's hear what students at Stephen Decatur have to say about cognitive flexibility in the VMT environment.
I think it means like if you know one way on how to do a math problem, you might want to know like another way to do a different math problem.
It's like when you have a problem and like you don't read it correctly, or like you don't understand it, and then you reread the question over and then you get it and then understand it. I had an answer for it that I thought was correct, but somebody on my team had a different answer, and I had to listen. And once I listened and actually heard where they were coming from in their answer, I realized that theirs was correct and mine wasn't. That changed what I thought about the answer. Normally, only you have to put an answer. So it's not every day that you have to ask your other classmates what they think, or it's not every day that there's more than one answer.
Having cognitive flexibility is helpful when doing math because you can learn to work with other people and build on each other's ideas. Getting stuck and making mistakes is how we learn. When that happens, your group mates can help you see different ways to solve the problem.
I also want to say that, like, working on VMT, it like taught me like to work together and not do it by myself. And having other opinions about like your answer is really good because you get to see like what other people are thinking.
I also agree because not everybody has the same answer.
Cognitive flexibility is about being able to recognize other points of view and adjust your own understanding when necessary. If you find yourself stuck on a math problem in VMT, don't be afraid to ask what your group mates think about the problem. And remember to share your own ideas. You might be the person that changes your group's thinking.